In this video, you're going to learn several key things you need to know about Fox's 2021 fork and shock lineup. Let's get into it. Alright guys, first up, let's check out the brand new Fox 38. As the name would suggest, it has 38mm stanchions. Now this is one big burly fork, so it's definitely made for the guys that are pushing it on the enduro scene. Fox has relegated this one to the long travel category, meaning that it comes in 160 to 180mm. The 36, on the other hand, is now a 150-160 fork only. Now, as you might guess, Fox had a big focus on stiffness when they designed the new 38, and they actually call it 31% stiffer in transverse shear, 17% stiffer fore and aft, and 38% torsionally stiffer, so that's that twisting motion. As far as weights are concerned, the 36 is obviously lighter. This one starts at a claimed 1.97 kilograms, so that's 4.3 pounds. And the 38 comes in at 200 grams heavier and an additional $100. All right, let's dive into some features on the new 38 as well as the 36. Now, Fox has always had a big focus on smoothness when it comes to their suspension, so that means reducing friction wherever possible. One of the ways that they've done that on these new forks is with a new floating axle design. What you're able to do is you can set this outer sleeve to be the perfect width of your hub, tighten that pinch bolt, and then you essentially have a quick release that you can quickly remove, and you know that the fork is not going to be bound up and causing extra friction. Definitely a good thing. On the back side of the fork, you're going to notice some ridges here. Now these are new lower leg channels, and they're actually really quite interesting. They're dual purpose. So their first purpose is to actually add additional air volume to the lowers. So when you bottom out a fork, there's air volume inside the lowers here that is also getting compressed. And what this does is it adds a little bit of extra volume so that when you're deep in the stroke, you're not getting ramp up from the lowers, you're just getting it from the air spring, which you're fully in charge of. The second big thing that they do is they help recirculate oil from the lower portion of your fork up to the foam rings on top and the bushings to help keep things ultra smooth and lubed up. Also on the back side, you're going to notice two little buttons here. You push those and it relieves the air pressure inside of the lower. So that's going to reset it with atmospheric pressure, and it's going to remove some of the binding that can occur on the seals when there's pressure inside the fork. Now this can happen with temperature changes or elevation changes often. I really like the execution on these bleeders. I think Fox has done a remarkable job. When you push them, no oil is coming out for me so far in all of my testing. Quick note though, the Performance series of forks do not come with the bleeders, but they do have the ability to be added after the fact. You're also going to notice that Fox has a new rounded arch design. Now Fox did this to optimize the strength to weight ratio, so this guy is going to remain plenty strong. Aesthetically, yeah, it's a little bit different, but hey, it's stronger, it's stiffer, right? I think it looks pretty decent. With how common short offset forks are becoming and how big head tubes are becoming, Fox also made the arch kind of jut forward a little bit so that there's extra clearance when you go to bottom out. So another new thing that's specific to the 38, so this doesn't come on the 36, is a new elliptical steerer tube design. So they've added material where it's needed, and they haven't added it where it's not. Fox does say this might be a possibility for some of their other forks in future years. We'll see. Now you guys might be wondering what's going on inside of this fork. So on the air spring side, Fox has added additional evol negative volume, so that's going to make it just a little bit more plush. And on the damper side, they're still using the proven Grip 2 damper, but they've added variable valve control to the high-speed compression. Now, variable valve control was previously used on the high-speed rebound. They also call it VVC for short, and it's being applied here to high-speed compression. Many normal adjusters add valve preload, but what VVC does is it changes the valve stiffness, so it works in a different way than most compression adjusters do, and rebound adjusters for that matter. One of the big claims that Fox makes with variable valve control is that it offers the same range that you could get from having a custom tune done, but you don't have to disassemble a fork. This can be great for heavy or light riders especially. Alright guys, let's dive into the new rear shocks for 2021 as well. So this is the Float X2 and this is the DHX2 coil. So you're going to notice right off the bat that the damper adjustment positions have been moved slightly from where they were previously. They actually have put high-speed rebound now on this eyelet here as this tiny little clicker because it uses Fox's variable valve control technology. So that's the same thing that they put on the fork, but also on the rear shocks for 2021. Variable valve control, or VVC as they like to call it for short, has to be in line with the damper shaft. They've also added a new high flow main piston as well as an independent firm mode adjustment. So that's right here. Because this adjustment is now independent, that means that the lockout can be not only firmer, so you're going to have more support when you're climbing, but it also means that it no longer impacts that open mode compression tune. Fox is also using lower friction seals on both shocks, as well as a new progressive MCU bottom out bumper. So that's that little foam guy that you see inside of there. So what's going to happen is as you contact it, you won't feel that initial moment, so there won't be a little harsh spike in the travel, and then it's going to build up as you get closer to bottom out, just adding a little bit of extra ramp to this coil shock that's otherwise linear. They've also made the reservoirs just a little bit shorter on each of the shocks, so that's going to improve compatibility with more frames. Finally, I really dig that they've added detents to the coil shock here, so as you turn the spring, it locks into place. What that's going to allow you to do is run minimal preload so you get the most supple performance out of your rear shock without the spring coming loose and starting to rattle. Pretty cool. Alright guys, that's a wrap on the new Fox stuff. Be sure to head over to vitalmtb.com and ridefox.com for more details. You're going to find pricing, specs, weights, see that brand new 40 that they've also got, as well as the rundown on their new limited edition fork colors. Definitely let us know what you think of the new lineup in the comments. And I gotta tell you what, I'm pretty excited to get these on the trails. We're done, that's a wrap!